Hello everybody and welcome to my hike out to the green sand beach. I believe that's Papakōlea green sand beach. One advantage of living in Ocean View was this was actually a pretty short drive to get here. I basically drove down to the boat ramp, which I think was about 30 minutes from my place. I probably should have zoomed out a little bit. This is basically the southernmost point of Hawaii, almost pretty close. And it's a 2.4 mile one direction, as you can see, from the boat ramp to the green sand beach. There's also, you'll see it in the video. Most people are hiking. There's also some cars that at least have attempted to drive there and back. They've really torn up the ground a lot, so you're going to see a lot of tire tracks and a lot of thick, worn down roads that you need some serious ground clearance to get through now. But I just want to make a quick amendment to previous videos. Yeah, so that white bird, that was not on Maui. That was on the Big Island. I was looking at that video at the end of the last video on the flight here. And yeah, I was definitely in the Camaro when I took that picture and took that video. So I don't know how that got mixed in with the Maui stuff, but yeah. If you are looking at the Waihi Ridge Trail video at the end, when I talk about that bird being on the way to the airport, that is incorrect. That was on the Big Island. All right, let's get into it. So here you can see this was actually heading towards the boat ramp. The parking lot is not right on it. Just kind of initial hike into the initial getting started to the green sand beach. I was kind of rushing this a little bit. I was diving later in the day, so I just got done telling you I like diving in the morning. And actually, I had the manta ray night dive later today. And obviously, if you're doing a night dive, it's gonna be at night. But that was a 2-tank dive, so the first dive kind of was a setup. We went down in the daylight, kind of looked around the area a little bit, just kind of learned, what to expect, and then we went down again at night. But obviously I'll talk more about that when I get to it. It's a pretty cool rock. Somebody loves big babies. I don't know. That's the boat launch right there, I believe. Maybe not. Oh, here it is. This is the boat launch. Yeah, I did not see anyone use the boat launch. I guess if you want to get out to the open ocean, you just back your boat right up in there and off you go. But, this was a beautiful hike. You're going to see lots of waves crashing into black rocks. I've mentioned 1 or 2 times that I enjoy watching that. It's quite windy. Yeah, it turned out I was late for my dive. There was a big miscommunication between me and the dive shop. The email they sent out said boat leaves at 3:15 or something, or 3:45 or whatever it was. 3:15, I think. And I thought, okay, that's when I planned on being there, or a little bit before then actually. Turns out, if you look deeper into the email, they wanted you to come to the shop to check in at 45 minutes before, so about 2:45. Thought that was a cool looking rock. And I missed that, and so I left here with what I thought was plenty of time to get there. And I'm heading up, and I get a call. And got some fishy fellers there. Got a little little tide or tide pool. What would you call this? Just a little shallow pool. Getting the upside down GoPro treatment. But you know, I'm still like 30 minutes out, if not more. And that little pool's probably all the world they know. I bet they don't really go out into the open ocean. Maybe they do. I don't know. This is the first time I'm looking at these. These turned out pretty good. Got a little orange feller in there too. Got a calm pool on the surface, or on the shore to hang out in while the ocean rages just beyond their reach. I get a call and he's like, "Are you coming to check in?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I thought we were going, you know, straight to the boat or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, you gotta come check in." And so, turns out I'm actually pretty late. I should have been on time. If I planned to get to the boat launch at 3 o'clock. There's some snails or something. I guess the tide or waves do splash up here. And he said, "No, you need to come check in." And I thought, okay, I gotta go sign some paperwork or something. All he did was give me a map to the boat launch. And I'm like, really, man? You couldn't have just, like, I don't know, told me the address to type in? Did I really have to come to the shop? Because I had some trouble finding the shop, too. I think I kept that rock, actually. I think that's some coral. Some old coral. Maybe it wasn't that one I kept. I didn't like it. And they ended up holding the boat for me. Oh yeah, I like this. Something found its way to found a way to grow in the middle of the rocks here. So I was super late. You know, I couldn't find the shop first. I pulled into the wrong section of parking lot, you know, and they weren't connected. So I got out of the car at Goodwill and went to the shop, and it was closed because it was the old one, and I had to go to the new one, which is around the corner, and it's just every possible thing that kept me late, you know, happened. When I finally got there, I got the map. The boat launch was, you know, 10 minutes down the road. And I really thought they were going to leave me, and they probably would have been, you know, would have been justified in doing that. But they waited, and I'm glad they did. Really glad they did. Yeah, I saw this. This was like I don't know what that was. Something turquoise in the volcanic rock. I need to get my geologist friend on the horn. Yo, Cole, what's this? Yeah, I took a picture of it. Yeah, look at that. What is that? It almost looked like, man, I don't know. What's a turquoise rock? And here's some white in there. Some pink. More turquoise. I guess it wasn't super rare, at least not in this particular area. But, yeah, you can see the air bubbles and things. Just this volcanic rock was just really cool to look at. The ocean's beating it down. Just beating it down. I guess these will all be sandy beaches eventually. But yeah, I finally got to the boat. Yeah, and then I got to the harbor or whatever. Not the harbor, the marina. And I couldn't find the boat, you know. It was very panicky. It's very panicked. So I was late. And, you know, I thought, like I said, I thought they were going to leave me. And I was rushing to get out of my car, and I was, you know, a little discombobulated. This was also the first time I'd been diving in months. And I was convinced after the first dive that I left my GoPro batteries in the car. Do not enter a restoration project. Okay. Oh yeah, I was looking at that. This was just, you know, the small roped off area. And I'm thinking, what is so different of this compared to every other place that I'm walking, you know? It was a very tiny area they had roped off. I mean, like this grass, but am I not supposed to walk in this grass either? I don't know. I don't know what was special about the 100 square feet they had roped off there, but I didn't break the rules. So you can see, these are some roads, obviously, that over time cars have just worn out. I don't know why they allowed this, and I don't know why they didn't just pave a road here if people are going to be driving on it this much. And on the way back, I did not get any footage of it actually, but on the way back there was a guy in a Jeep trying to drive over this stuff. Like, man, you're gonna run into some terrain you're not gonna be able to drive your Jeep through, man. Just hope you know that. And look at this. This is might need a tank to get through some of this stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so that was a huge bummer. I had extra GoPro batteries with me actually, but didn't know it because I only looked at my dry bag and I thought that's where I would have put them, and they weren't in there. And so I thought I didn't have them, and so I have no footage of the night dive, the Maui, the night dive with the manta rays, which is very upsetting. Very irritated at myself, because that was a fabulous dive. That was magical. That was, we go down at night and they turn lights on to attract plankton, and the manta rays come and eat the plankton, and there was about 10 or 12 of them down there just buzzing right over top of you, giving you haircuts. I mean, easily could have reached out and touched them. They told us not to. And that was just a really magical experience. It was my 100th dive as well, so extra special milestone. No, I was wearing a wetsuit. Yeah. You're supposed to do your 100th dive in the nude. I did not. It's a little too chilly for that anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna be kicking myself forever that I didn't bring my camera. Well, I brought my camera just with a dead battery. I was hoping to squeeze a little bit out, but it was dead, completely dead. And I got back to the car expecting to find my GoPro batteries sitting on the front seat. And turns out they were in my dye bag all along, so I had them, I just didn't know it. Yeah, unbelievable. But, you know, it's a popular dive. You can get on YouTube and search, you know, Maui manta ray night dive or something, and I'm sure a billion videos will pop up. You know, they're just not going to have that Yano sauce commentary flair to them, but, you know, they'll have cool things like title screens and music and, you know, overall much better production quality than what you're used to seeing here. But yeah, that's just, it's a memory, obviously, I'll have the rest of my life, and something I'm not, or unfortunately not going to be able to share with you guys directly on my channel here, but that's alright, it's alright. You know what it means? I just say I gotta go back and do it again. But anyway, back to the matter at hand here. I've been talking about the dive that wasn't on camera more than anything else. Yeah, not a lot to say here. You can tell it was raining a little bit. I just love watching the waves crash upon the rocks. It's just a favorite visual of mine. Jeez. That's it. That's the green sand beach. I thought I had more pictures and things in between. But yeah, look at that. That's it. I forget the reason for the green sand. I really should have looked that up before. But look at this. This is just a pretty little cutout. You know, even without the sand, or even without the green, this would still be a hike worthy of making. Just a some little cutout here, and for one reason or another, it's green sand, and yeah, you can see it from here. It's pretty green. Just getting ready for St. Patrick's Day, that's all. And you can see some people up on the ridge there. Yeah, there's a picture of it. Yeah, if you look to the left, you can see some people, so you get a sense of the size. You can go down there, so I did go down there. You'll see that in a few minutes here. But yeah, just some of that Hawaiian beauty. Here either. Well, I'm just hanging out here for a while. Back in my mind, I was like, gotta get going, gotta dive and make. Yeah, it so happened, you know, this was probably an hour and a half from Kona, maybe a little longer. Or an hour and a half at the time when I typed it in, and you know, when I got there, it was rush hour, and so I hit a bunch of traffic. I got stuck behind a school bus. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong pretty much did go wrong with me getting there, and I was pretty shocked they didn't just leave me behind. But yeah, that dive shop is awesome. I'll talk more about them, you know, when I get there. But you know, check number one for them is they didn't leave the boat behind, or didn't leave me behind. I didn't miss the boat. Here we go. This is the approach down to the beach. Not the easiest one in the world. It was fairly steep, as you could tell. So we got a picnic table all the way out here. Rickety looking staircase. I was a little nervous about this one, but it did its job. Yeah. Check that thing out. Did not collapse on me though. I don't remember it being this windy, but it's blowing pretty good right now. Whew. You could see the green stuff. I wish I could remember. I read somewhere what makes the sand green. I'm sure the internet will tell you lickety split. But you could kind of see the green stuff in the areas surrounding the beach too. It's not just on the beach here. I mean, like the mud and stuff that I was just walking on to get here. Once we got close, you could kind of see it. So I think it's fairly localized to this area. there you have it. Green sand beach, baby. In all of its splendor. Yeah, these folks. So I met them right at the top of the trailhead, and they asked me if I knew where I was going, and I was like, nah. Just kind of following the coast. Yeah, there's not a single trail, so to speak, to get here. I was a little worried about that because there was not even a sign, nothing marked about it. Yeah, there's some green sand. Doesn't look super green there, I guess, but it certainly does when you back up and look at it from afar. Some cliffs. Yeah, I wonder if the water ever came all the way to the top. It certainly looks like the rock has layers to it. It might be water worn, I don't know. Looks like young volcanic rock to me. I met them at the trailhead, yeah, and they kind of gave up. They were heading back to the car. Like, we can't find a trail. There's nothing down there. And I was just like, well, peace out. See ya. I don't know what you want me to say. But yeah, there's really no marked trail here, which, like I said, kind of threw me a little bit because I was wondering, am I going the right way? Am I going to find it? There's tons of car roads that have been carved out of the mud, and you can follow any one of those. But basically, you just keep the beach, to your right when you're going there, and you saw it. You can't miss it when you hit it. So this is on the way back. I had a prescribed time to leave on the way back because, I had to make the diving, so I was trying to hustle. I kind of took my time getting there, but I thought that was cool. Little hole in the rock. Reminded me of Arizona. The one in Arizona is far bigger. Just really pretty, really pretty. Yeah, this does take a little time. It was, 4.8 mile round trip, so budget your time accordingly if you do this.
How y'all doing?
Oh, pass somebody. Yeah, I don't shine the camera on people if I can avoid it. It kind of got sunny by the end here, but maybe not. Still pretty cloudy, obviously, here. It's just, I love watching or love seeing the grass growing in the rocks. I don't really know how it does that. Don't need a lot of soil, or none at all, clearly. Got some pretty blue water. This is going to be the future site of a black sand beach, and I don't know, 50 million years? I don't know how long it takes to erode things down to sand. Probably a while. It's just beautiful country. Totally undeveloped. I was driving through, houses here and there on the way down here, but not a lot. Lots of pastures, I think. Livestock is actually pretty big on Hawaii. I forgot to mention it, but especially on Maui anyway, past a lot of cattle guards in the road, cattle grates, and lots of signs about it. The cattle guards are just slots in the road. They kind of dig a hole and put a grate over the top, I think, and I guess the cattle know not to walk on it because their feet are going to slip through if they do. So it's kind of like a barrier for the cattle, but not for the cars, I think is how that's supposed to work. So yeah, I think I read somewhere that after the sugar plantations kind of went away, livestock sort of took over. So yeah, I found lots of cows on Hawaii. Big Island too. Just a very pretty spot. Pretty spot. Bunch of rocks there. Found this sucker doing its best to grow in the rocks and succeeding mightily. Pointing out my shadow. That means we're getting some sunshine. Like, whoa, is that my shadow? Haven't seen that in a week and a half. Or I guess a week at this point. Beautiful. Didn't see any swimmers out there. With the rocks and things, yeah, probably a little too rough to be swimming. I don't really have any good footage of some of the worst trails I saw either. Some of them were just, you could tell that off-road vehicles have been just using and abusing them. Just by how deep the tire tracks were compared to the rut in the middle, you know. You need Hummer to consider about going over some of these now, I think. Yeah, I'm surprised that they've allowed that because they've really torn up the landscape, countryside. And it's just created, I'm sure it's increased erosion and, you know, the whole deal. So I'm surprised they've not shut that down. Like I said, I saw 2 cars driving when I was here, so it's 3. I saw 3. So it must still be allowed. But yeah, I don't know where they're driving because a lot of these trails now are being completely impassable. Which probably means they're off making new ones, which is even worse. So. They should just probably pave something and be done with it. But they haven't yet. I was wanting to hang down by the water as much as possible anyway. Thought I saw something cool there, but I did not. Cool looking rock. That's some pretty water. Oh my. Big splashes. Water hits the rocks, hits the wall, splashes straight up in the air. Really cool. That's probably the direction where the original Hawaiian Polynesians came from. I think they came from the Marquesas Islands. That's what we learned on Maui. And that was to the south, so yeah, they might have hit the big island down here first. I'm not sure if they know where they landed. Maybe they hit Maui first? Yeah, I really don't know. So Captain Cook, he hit, that's cool, the rock. Yeah, I like the white stripe going through it. That was, this was back, so that's an inchworm. Yeah, this guy was hanging from a tree or something, and I managed to accidentally run into him, and he took a liking to my shirt, started doing his inchworm things, and I had to coax him back onto the tree. All right, and that's a wrap for my hike to the green sand beach. Up next, finally some diving. Finally get back into the water. A long time coming. Back to my roots. Yeah, since everything got rained out on Maui, this was my first dive in Hawaii, and it was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to it, and I hope to see you there.
Hello.